What's good, YouTube? Just a casual nerd here, back again with another video. And today I'm gonna give my review of the Amsterdam film that recently released. That's starring Christian Bale, Margot Robbie, and John David Washington. I just watched it today, just a couple hours ago. So I want to give you guys my quick thoughts on it. And my first thought would be that I'm glad that it's over. It just felt like it went on a little too long, even though the movie is, well, it's 2 hours and 15 minutes. It just feels longer. And I guess if you want a quick, spoiler less review of it, I would say, like I said in the thumbnail, it's wholesome, but ends up being kind of boring after the first 35 minutes. I don't plan to probably ever watch this film again. I won't say it's not the worst movie I've ever watched, but it's not good in my opinion, which is a shame since they had a star-studded cast. Even beyond the initial three, they had a whole bunch of familiar faces in here. But I just really did not enjoy this. Did not enjoy this film. Now, going into it from the trailers, and spoiler, I'm probably going to go into a couple spoilers from here. But going from the trailer, there wasn't too much to go on, which I'm perfectly fine with that. I like when trailers don't show too much. So that's actually why I wanted to see this film. It had a star-studded cast, and the trailer didn't reveal too much. So I went in kind of blind. But going into it, the first 30, 40, my 5 minutes was actually interesting. It set up a premise of these war veterans who were basically essentially framed for murder after they were doing an autopsy on one of their colleagues from who was also a veteran or a general or whatnot. So the actual start of the premise of it, it was kind of fast paced. They kind of throw you into this to where someone, well, Taylor Swift's character, she gets killed right in front of them, but they're blamed, so they're on the run. But then they have to discover who's behind all this, and that the first premise of it, those first 30 minutes, I was like, okay, this may be something kind of interesting, like a little bit of a mystery, but it's set in this specific time, like around the 30s, I believe. And you had obviously Christian Bale and John David Washington, they were the ones who were framed, and then Margot Robbie comes in a little later to kind of fill in that third piece as the friends, as they have a pact to basically have each other's back and things like that. So it almost set up a comedy whodunit type of film, set in this historical landscape. So it started out kind of interesting, but after that, after they kind of start peeling back layers of trying to figure out who's connected to who, I started kind of lose track of who was who. There are so many different names that kind of just threw around, and they also tried to weave in a love story. Well, I won't say try. They did weave in, love stories in between, which the sentimental parts, it did pay off in the end. So that part was good of it. I do compliment them on that. But it kind of became, once they're trying to figure out who was behind everything, it just became bigger and bigger and became on the conspiratorial, level, which they did say is some of the things that happened is true. And what they mean by that is like some of the conspiracy things that was actually, revealed at the end of how big it got. Like talking about basically, they had this committee, but they were basically essentially Nazis almost, who wanted to take over America. So as you can see, it went from, the two of the three main characters getting framed for murder, and then it spiraled into being a Nazi undercover trying to take over, America type of deal. Like that in itself, you can see, I mean, I'm fine with a smaller thing getting bigger than what it initially was, but this film, the payoff just wasn't there. Maybe it was too long. Maybe if it was shorter, it would have been better. But the mystery aspect of it, maybe if they would have done a little bit more mystery, it may have made things a little better. But I don't know. It just went on too long. Like about the halfway mark, I just really felt like they were just talking to different people, and that was basically it. Someone says, hey, you should talk to this person, and then they go do that. Then they talk to another person, and then they said they should go see this person, and then at the end it all connects. But I really didn't feel like, I mean, things were being revealed, but it really didn't add to the story. It didn't add to the levity of the film, of the plot itself, because it went so far away from the initial premise of it. Yes, at the end, yeah, it all connected, and they were doing this to clear their names, but it seemed like the film lost sight of that, and to me, I, as a viewer, that means I kind of lost interest in it as well. And I should probably also mention the whole reason it was called Amsterdam, because when they were at war, or rather when the war ended, they were in Amsterdam, and that, for that time, for those couple of months, they got to be their quote unquote true selves, and they're happy, just got to live their lives. But when they came back to Jersey, albeit separately, things just progressively, end up being worse for them after what, like 12 years or so. So Amsterdam was just like their, I don't know, I guess their nirvana in a way. So they was trying to get back to that in a way, but they had to, get their names cleared and get through this situation. All right. So with that being said, I should probably also talk about the acting. Yes, it is a star-studded cast. The acting wasn't, bad. It was on par with what you expect. I think Christian Bale, still carried. I feel like he embodied his actual character the most, which that's what he's known for anyway. So no surprise there. But that's no shade to Margot Robbie or John David Washington. They did well. It's just you're literally starring by Christian Bale. Everyone else, they had a lot of other stars in this film, but I feel like they were honestly underutilized. It didn't seem like there was a only point of having those stars was just to say you had all these people in this film, because a lot of them they could just use lesser names, and I honestly wouldn't be able to. It wouldn't make a difference in the film's quality if that makes any sense. But yeah, so overall, like I said, it got pretty boring, pretty quickly, unfortunately. Like I said, they did have some wholesome stuff at the end when it came to basically honoring, still honoring your own values and things like that, and then also just loving the life that you do have, however that looks, wherever that may be, and valuing the relationships that you do have. Now, if they were just kept with that like throughout the whole film and just gutted a lot of the rest of things, maybe it would have been a lot better, and they could have just made just a straight up wholesome film. But the addition of all the non-fictional stuff as well, and the mystery stuff that really didn't do a good job of actually drawing us into the actual mystery, I think made it lose a lot of points in my book. But with this cast, it had potential to be a lot better, but unfortunately it wasn't. But if you watched it, what do you think? You think I'm wrong, or you think I'm right on the money with this one? But what are you listening to me for anyway? I'm a casual. Cue the outro.